What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Kirby's fate that was revealed in Scream 5, and also talk about if she could be in Scream 6. Now, I was pretty afraid to make this video just because of, it's an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg, but it is, in a way, I guess, a spoiler. But I've seen other channels do it, so if you're going to get mad at me, please, for the love of God, get mad at the other ones as well, just to make us all even. Anyway, in Scream 2022, when Richie is watching Stab, okay, or Stab 8, online, he's watching, the people from Dead Meat, which was pretty awesome that they were included. On the right-hand side of the YouTube video playing out, the first video, and actually there's another video that's a little interesting as well, is interview with Woodsboro survivor Kirby Reed. And it's got a picture that's a real-life picture, obviously, of her just in an interview. Now, another one that's kind of interesting, at the very bottom, it says, "Did the real-life Stu Macher survive?" Now, that's weird how you put that. Did the real-life Stu Macher? So maybe that's kind of like a meta thing, right, overall. But the Kirby one is obviously one that really stands out. The Stu one maybe is just kind of a pun or like a play on people think he's alive, but we're not going to give a definitive answer. And we're also going to make it like there's another Stu, something like that. But the Kirby one is interesting, right, obviously, because there you go. I mean, there was a lot of debate, but I really think Wes, although only the director and, Kevin, obviously the kind of architect of the story, I always think I would side with Wes in terms of what was actually going on and what somebody coming into the project of Scream, what they would infer, was supposed to happen. You'd go probably based off of, whether it's right or wrong, whether that's like a right move or a wrong move, you'd probably go based off of Wes. So, when Wes Craven tweeted out that, he thinks she's still alive, she was moving in that final shot, that whole ordeal, that's what I've always gone by, and that's what I think we've always should have gone by. And now we get confirmation that, yeah, that is what happened, right? Because Kirby's alive. So, A, great, fantastic. B, could she appear now in future movies? Well, we know I would say this, if they get both of the directors back, right, because they've talked about how big of a Kirby fan, they're also big Randy fans, but they're really big Kirby fans too, right? I don't think it's, impossible. I will say I kind of go back and forth on the idea because, would I like to see her back? Yes. Would that be cool? Sure. The tough thing is you have her role already there now with Mindy, right? So Kirby was the Randy. Now Mindy is now the Randy type, right? So it's could you have two of them? Then you also think, well, how many people, care, especially now, and when you go into the next Scream movie, right? We have to, not elevate where we think of things, but you have to just think of it, I guess, in context. How many people, mainstream audiences, not the diehards, knew or cared about Scream 4? The answer is probably pretty little. The answer is probably the diehards, which is why we got that Easter egg. I know I see a lot of people on social media saying, we won. Kirby's alive kind of because we forced them to tell us whether or not, what happened or not. So I would say that, we won because we are passionate and we made videos and Twitter and all this stuff, right? That means something. However, when it comes to introducing her back into the movie, just like a Stu thing, that's difficult, right? Because it's well, how does that work? She is tied to nobody. You know what I mean? She'd only be tied to Sydney at best, and that's very loosely. And Sydney, I think she'll be in 6, but, it's obviously not, a for sure thing. So it's and also, she was in Woodsboro because of 4. I fully believe Scream 6 would not be in Woodsboro. So it's how would you connect that as well? So it's tough. Of course, I would want to see her back. I know I see a lot of people saying, make her the opening kill. Again, you have to think about, and I'm not saying, I'm not, bashing these ideas or anything, but I am just saying, you have to think about how a 6 would, what would be the idea of Scream 6? What's the plan? Could they do something like the original opening of Scream 4, and maybe you twist a little bit, and maybe Sam is the opening phone call and the opening kill, but that, serves, a meaning. You wouldn't be bringing Kirby back for, a fun little Easter egg thing, fans will remember this, and then you kill her off in the opening conversation, and, what does that do for the rest of the movie? Do you know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is it's easy to, just say it out loud. Bring Stu back. Bring Kirby back. And I'm not saying they're bad ideas or that they couldn't work. They absolutely could. But you'd have to put a lot of, consideration or care into it to, make sure it makes sense. So I don't know. I love the fact that she's alive. I think that immediately means it's possible. You know what I mean? Now the option is never gone because you could always have her come in because she's alive and there is a group that cares about her. And I think Hayden Panettiere, obviously she's kind of, you know, come in and out of like the Hollywood spotlight, but I think she's still a reasonably, you know, popular figure out there, like for sure. So maybe that actually helps your movie. Maybe they can draw different people in. I don't know. You know what I mean? So you could have that, but I think it's first and foremost, the reason they did it was just as like an eye pleaser, like an Easter egg to these diehard fans. I don't know if they would take it the step further and say, let's fully bring her back as like a main, maybe not a main role, maybe as a support role, like a Sydney and Gale and Dewey was in Scream 2022. Maybe you could do that with her in the next movie, but it would have to make sense. Do you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. There'll be more Scream content every single day on this channel. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, all the links to my social media, my Twitter, my second channel, our Patreon, and YouTube memberships are all in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.